Licensed firearm holder fatally shot in Wellington town. The Kingston East police are investigating the murder of a licensed firearm holder who was gunned down Tuesday afternoon in Wellington town, Kingston. He has been identified as Kevin Johnson. Residents reported they heard explosions at a premises along Wellington Avenue sometime after 4 p.m. Johnson was later discovered suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds. His licensed firearm was reportedly stolen by his attackers. A wrecker was summoned to remove the motor vehicle Johnson has driven to the location, reporters have learned. The incident comes amid a sharp reduction in murders in the East Kingston Division. Up to June 21, the division recorded a 70% decline in murders, with 10 reported so far this year, compared to 33 for the same period in 2023. Darliston left in shock following the abduction of businessman. The normally quiet community of Darliston in Westmoorland was left tense and in shock following the alleged abduction of a well-known businessman at gunpoint in the area on Tuesday. The businessman has been identified as Gavin Myers, who has been operating a car mart in Darliston for more than half a decade. Reports are that Myers received a call from someone who allegedly wanted to do business. However, Myers was ambushed when he arrived at his place of business. Reports indicate that sometime around 6:30 a.m., Myers was standing by his vehicle on the main road while an employee opened the gate to the property. It was at this moment that the businessman was approached by gunmen who forced him inside the vehicle. They reportedly fired a shot into the air before speeding away with their victim. When reporters visited the scene, most people who knew him were afraid to speak and identify themselves. They say that they do not know whether the incident was carried out by the police or by gunmen. One woman who knew him was in a state of shock when reporters caught up with her, among others. "We're just sitting here, contemplating and hoping for the best," stated a woman. A man who also knew Myers said that he was someone who would support community events. He said the incident on Tuesday was not the norm in the community. The search by the security force for the businessman and his abductors continues. KSAMC hires accounting firm after 9 years without audit financials. Mayor Andrew Swaby has signed a 2-year contract with an external auditing firm to bring the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation up to date with its financial statements following nearly a decade without an audit. Swaby revealed that the KSAMC has not submitted an audit financial statement since 2016, a failure that has been noted by the Auditor General and raised in Parliament Public Accounts Committee. The KSAMC has not provided an audit financial statement since 2016, Swaby noted. That has been mentioned by the Auditor General before. The KSAMC has been before the PAC and has made certain commitments and has not fulfilled those commitments. To address the issue, Swaby said he secured the services of Mother Assurance, a private financial firm, which has been contracted for 2 years to carry out the audit and prepare up-to-date financial reports for the municipality. Swaby added that KSAMC's Oversight Committee has been tasked with monitoring the process. Westmoorland farmer charged with possession of identity information. A 47-year-old farmer from Westmoorland has been charged with possession of identity information following an incident in Savannah Lamar on Sunday. The accused has been identified as Carl Gray, a resident of Smithfield district in the parish. Reports from the Savannah Lamar police are that around 10:30 p.m., a thief was on mobile patrol in the area when they saw a group of men standing along the roadway. Upon seeing the police, the men reported the run, as statements did. Police gave chase and intercepted Gray. During a search, a cell phone was found in his pocket. With his permission, officers examined the device and discovered files containing names, address, and numbers of individuals living overseas, the police noted. Gray reported he could not explain how he came by the information. He was taken into custody and later charged with possession of identity information. JN makes call for regional effort to tackle motorcycle deaths and injuries. In a passionate address to stir up urgency, Claudine Allen, General Manager of the Jamaica National Foundation, kicked off the Heads Up regional think tank at the AC Hotel in Kingston with a call for countries in the Caribbean and Latin America to shift from the narrative on motorcycle safety to save lives. Addressing policymakers, motorcyclists, and global road safety advocates, Allen emphasized the urgent need for behavioral change to reduce preventable deaths. This is a journey of advocacy and action, she declared. The strategy is simple: safe helmets on heads, every ride, every time. The two-day forum, which culminated on June 20, was organized by the JN Foundation through National Helmet Wearing Coalition. It comes amid rising concern about motorcyclist crashes across the Caribbean and Latin America. Motorcycle crashes account for close to a third of road fatalities in Jamaica alone, particularly the deaths of men in their prime, productive years, a figure Allen says has remained stubbornly unchanged. This is now an economic issue, she stressed. Our economies are already on the strain, and these deaths are creating an invisible but heavy burden. We can't afford to keep losing our most productive citizens on the roads. She highlighted the cultural reasons some riders still stunt helmets, from vanity and discomfort to the myth that a short ride doesn't require protection. She also pointed to systematic gaps, such as need for certified helmet access, local testing facilities, and tighter enforcement. But her message wasn't just about the problem, it was a call to collective action. We have an immense task ahead, but it's not insurmountable, she said, pointing to successful efforts in other countries like Mexico. Over the next 2 days, we're not just having a talk, Allen insisted, we're identifying solutions, regulatory, cultural, economic, that will take us closer to zero. With representatives from transport, health, and national security ministries and sectors, as well as motorcyclists sharing their real stories, she said the forum is a critical step in changing the tide. We're showing up. We're asking you to participate, and when you leave here, take action, advocate, collaborate, because that's the only way we are going to change the story that becomes too familiar, she pointed out. Supporting her remarks, Program Director for the FIA Foundation underlined the life-saving potential of helmet use. The foundation is a charitable arm of the FIA, the world governing body for motorsports. We know that the safe use of quality helmet reduces the risk of death by over 6 times and brain injury by up to 74%, she stated. That makes every certified helmet wearer a life protector, and yet too many still ride unprotected, not for lack of knowledge, but for lack of access and enforcement, she added. The director praised Jamaica's efforts, saying, "This is the first event of its kind in the region, and it's already proven that regional dialogue can drive real change. We are here to shape safer roads and a more resilient community." The urgency to tackle the motorcycle crashes and their consequences was further underscored by Donore Muirhead, technical assistant in the Ministry of Science, Energy and Transport, representing Minister Valls, who outlined grim statistics requiring fatalities and injuries from motorcycle incidents so far this year. This is not just a national concern, it's a regional crisis. The real issue is not motorcycles, it's the persistent culture of non-compliance, limited access to certified helmets, and enforcement gaps, she affirmed. We must build a safer culture from the ground up. The forum, hosted by the National Helmet Wearing Coalition, a project of the JN Foundation in partnership with the National Road Safety Council, with funding from the FIA Foundation, aims to tackle the challenge of motorcycle safety, particularly helmet wearing, head-on, from helmet testing and enforcement to regional collaboration and youth education. The event has brought together regional and international experts, policymakers, and advocates to tackle the alarming rise in motorcycle-related injuries and fatalities across the Caribbean and Latin America. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.